Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer, welcome back to Farming Simulator 2017, and welcome back to Lone Oak Farm, which I inadvertently, right there, Lone Oak Farm. Last episode I did refer to it in passing as Lone Star Farm. I apologize. Apologize to BulletBill and to anybody who was kind of thrown by that, but in my defense I will say it's an easy mistake to make, and you try talking for 45 minutes without misspeaking a single time. I threw this in. We got a little fuel station over here, and the reason I did is there was no fuel on this side of the map, and I figured we've got our AdBlue right there, so it made sense. I added that. One other thing I wanted to clear up. We're running all Case equipment on this map, and we just happen to be a Case International dealer. I assure you that was entirely a coincidence. We're running all New Holland on Upton Farm. We're running all John Deere on Northstone, so it was either Case or Massey Ferguson. I flipped a coin. Case won. I had not seen the map when I made that decision, so for me to get here and see that this is a Case dealer and we're running all Case equipment, I promise you, just a coincidence. This is an amazing mod. This is from the C and D family, which you can find on moddingvelt.de, I think. If you go to if you go to a search engine, type in FS17 Case D family, and it's the Italian spelling, so D Familia, you'll get a link to Moddingvelt. It's an awesome tractor. And then this is the Flegel trailer pack, which I think you can also find on Moddingvelt. It's really cool. Everything has dynamic hoses, hoses from the trailer to the dolly. Super cool. And then this Boss, I think that's how we say it. This Boss front loader is specific to this tractor, like to that console right there. So, and we threw some pallet forks on. We've got some supplies loaded up and strapped down. We're going to drive back to the farm, and I'm going to tell you what's going on. There's great sound on this tractor too, and with Gearbox, I mean, it's made to work with Gearbox, but it's got great sound. And as it goes through the gears, so much more realistic than base game. It's that immersion, yo. You want to go in cab? Let's go in cab. And I think I saw a car just about to turn there, so hopefully it doesn't whack us. So I've learned a lot about this farm. I played about 4 hours off camera, and this is what I've learned about big farms, because it's been a while. It's been almost 2 years since I was on Goldcrest, and I played West Coast. I played Coldboro's pretty big. I played was it PGR Brujda, the big Polish map. I've played some big maps, but it's been a while since I've played a big square field map, and they are different. I really hadn't appreciated how big the fields on this map are. They are massive. And when I really started to appreciate it was I came back off camera and was continuing to let our hired workers work, and I realized like how little progress they were making. So well, you'll see when I get over here, but I was ferrying some supplies back and forth and some various and sundry, like you do. And I noticed that no matter how many trips I made, the hired workers really didn't seem to be making any progress. So I did an aerial view, did a little drone cam, and the fields are massive. And we're not even on the big one yet. Terrible visibility. I hope nobody's coming. Yeah. We didn't even start on the big field yet. We're working on the little fields. This is more realistic and Gearbox. And I gotta see, are we spinning our wheels? Nope. We're just kind of stuck. Let me see if I can gear down a little bit here. Come on. Let's see, we need to set the brake. We go in here and toggle automatic to manual. Yeah, let's try this. So then Hold the brake. There we go. It's because I don't have a shift, and because I'm on a gamepad and I can't really get my hand over to operate a shifter, I tend to leave the Gearbox add-on in automatic mode. But there are times when there's an override. I have an override to very often cause it to downshift even when it's in automatic. But there are times when, depending on how the mod maker has set the tractor up, there are times when it won't respond to that override. When that's the case, I need to go to manual. So yeah, massive fields, and really caused me to sort of reevaluate how we're going to need to work this farm. And how we're going to need to work it is... So there's several things to keep in mind. And I told you when we started the first episode yesterday, I told you I had cheated in a couple million pounds. I'm just leaving it on pounds so we're not swapping back and forth between pounds and dollars. But I told you I cheated in a couple million pounds. Well, we also had a couple million because I sold all the equipment that the map came with. I prefer to use my own equipment. So I had 2 million, give or take. It was slightly under 2 million. And then I cheated in 2 million. That gave us 4. And I told you I didn't want to just sandbox it. You know, I didn't want to cheat in 50 million and buy every piece of equipment. And even, you know, we're in this old 1455. It's a very appropriate sort of auxiliary tractor for a farm this size. We've got the new Puma, is it? Yeah, we got the new Puma, we got the new Magnum, and then we've got two 1455s. I think that's a good spread, and I don't know why we're dropping frames. We've got more equipment on the map now, so it could be loading some textures. But I think that's a good spread. It's appropriate. We're not going crazy. You know, we didn't buy 8 Kloss Zarians or some ridiculous thing like that. But we still burn through money pretty quick. We've got a couple farm trucks. This, here's our seed tender, which is on a tractor-trailer chassis. And I did get that working yesterday. You know, it comes with that little caddy. The seed tender comes with that caddy that you can tow it around on. And when you sell the caddy, it causes an error somewhere. But when you restart the game, it's fine. Fired right up. And as you can see here, we got some goodies, and I will show you those in a moment because we have a lot of grass. We're going to be doing a lot of grass work. So it seemed appropriate to get that stuff. And as you can see on the trailer here, you can see molasses, so you know where that's headed. All right, let me get this parked up, and I'll show you what we got. Bottom line, I think I'm going to have to start every episode and show you some interesting things, and then end the episode, go off camera, and do a ton of work. I have a feeling this is going to be like 6 or 7 to 1 as far as, you know, the time that you see on camera versus the time that I spend working the farm, because you don't want to see me seeding a field for 3.5 hours, right? It's just not going to work that way. So I think like today, you'll see, we'll start a worker, we'll run over and get another worker started, we'll get another worker started, we'll go back, check the first one, then we'll call it an episode. All right, Big M, I think, is the only thing that makes sense. When you look at field 35 and 44, they're huge. They're absolutely gigantic. I think that's the only thing that makes sense to have that spread. Then I did get where is it? Right there. I did get a tedder because we're going to make hay. And then I got the pellet maker. We're going to make hay pellets and straw pellets. And then I got the baler, and I got the 3-up. At some point, we're going to need to get a front loader. And the reason we're going to need to get a front loader is BulletBill maps do not, the cows, the manure, the muck does not automatically collect in a bunker. You have to go in and manually muck out your cattle in a BulletBill map. And I anticipate having 300 to 400 dairy cows. So that's going to be, we want to go down here first. That's going to be, we're going to need a big scoop for that, because we're going to be pulling probably 20 or 30 tons a day of muck out of the cattle if we have that many. So I got the big baler from the Straw Harvest add-on pack, and we'll get the big. There's a giant bale lifter, square bale lifter that you can put on a front loader, and we can pick up 3 bales at a time and stack them very efficiently. So I also got, we're going to be going through a ton of fuel, so I got the fuel tender, and the reason it's sort of split like that, fuel up front, and then it's got AdBlue in the back, so we can bring our equipment over and fill up here in the field without going, even though the farm is only right over there, there's a little bit of artistic license. We're going to pretend the farm is further away. I brought this tank out. It's got 55,000 liters of slurry in it right now. It does use the hose system, which it's very cool. Not quite done yet. Hose system needs a little bit more work, but basically you take these hoses, get them set up on these taps down here, and then we'll bring our other 1455 is on the Coeco slurry injector. We'll bring it over here when we need to refill it. Here's our other truck, our other lorry, and we've got, I think, 30,000 liters of slurry in here. And what we can do is, we've got a combined 85 plus 15 in the injector. So we've got 100,000 liters of slurry on this side of the map. We're going to use that for field 43. It may or may not be enough. If it's not enough, then we'll just take this truck back over, refill it, and keep going. I've got our Magnum down here with the Cultiplow on it. Now this is field 49, and it's gigantic. It is absolutely gigantic. I had not anticipated that. So, and I mean, here's a grass field, and this is us. We're running sideways, and you can see how big this grass field is. So I think the Big M made a lot of sense, and I think it's going to make sense to get into hay pellets as well, because we're actually going to have enough of them to sell to make money, right? If you only have a couple tons, but if you have dozens of tons of hay pellets and straw pellets, that's going to make a difference. And we are going to plant this field right here with either wheat or barley, something that's going to make a windrow, because I want to make a ton of straw pellets. So right up here, this is our Case Titan self-propelled fertilizer spreader. And what we're going to do with this is go over to the far corner of field 49. We're going to do 1 row of fertilizer, and that will allow us to get the Cultiplow going. And once we have the Cultiplow on a worker, then we'll put this Titan on a worker to finish the field, and we'll have that automated, and we can run up and get our slurry injector going. And once we have that going, then we're going to get our, what's the last thing? Oh, our sugar beet planter. We'll get that running. So this is an interesting mod. I don't even remember where I got this. No. Oh. Let's try this one more time. So, cruise control is set. There we go. Not sure what that was all about. So yeah, look at this field. This is absurd. This has taken me back to Goldcrest Valley. This is old school. Gigantic field. So yeah, we're going to do this 1 row with our fertilizer spreader. We're going to get the Cultiplow going, and then we'll put this guy on a worker on all the subsequent rows, and it'll finish by itself. Or it will finish till it hits that tree on the other side, but by then, I mean, like I said, there's so many hours of work to do on this map off camera. It really is a multiplayer map. But I don't play multiplayer. My schedule is not predictable enough to be anywhere on time, and I've gone to some multiplayer servers in my time, and yeah. Anyway, I haven't gone back. The farm crowd, it's an interesting crowd. Farm simulator crowd. Right, so, and this, right over here. Try not to break anything. And in fact, you know what? I don't even need to wait. I can just do this right now. So we are going to bring up this panel. And we want dumb AI in rows that way. Don't show the trace. Connected fields only. Collision check on. And we'll put John on the job. Forward, my friend. What is the, are we caught on something? What's going on here? Cheesy Pete's. Right. John, will you spread fertilizer on this field for me? Please? Sigh. Right, so we'll set the brake. And we'll come over here to our Magnum. Can you hear me calming down right now? Can you pick up on that? Right. So. Let's get this. I'll wait till we're past the Titan. We'll get this unfolded. Now, do this. We need, everything's good right there. Turn that on. Turn that off. John, redeem yourself, my friend. This is John driving, not me. John, buddy, where are you going? Alright, he's just gonna go along the edge of the crop rather than the edge of the field, but he seems to be doing okay. Oh, this game. Right, now I'm going to hop back in the Titan. I'm going to do a couple more passes just so we know John has enough room to work and is not going to run out of fertilized field to work on. Let me turn this AI vehicle extension panel off because it's just making me want to smack something every time I look at it. Alright, so we get this going. I think as slow as he's going, I think if we go down and back one time, that ought to be enough. And in fact, let's do this. Yeah, that's a little... Yep, it's a little GPS antenna on the roof there, so we can use GPS and not feel like we're breaking immersion. And then from here, we're going to run up and, like I said, get the slurry injector going, and then get the sugar beet. Get the sugar beets going, and then that's going to be it for today. I'll call it an episode, and that should be about 30 minutes. But I really want to focus on, for lack of a better word, like doing things that are interesting. Because I know Well, there's different types of farming videos that I've seen, and I've seen some very long form, I guess is a good way to describe it, where it's like every single thing, and that tends to be more. And I'm not when I say this, I'm not being an ass by any means. I'm just calling it like I sees it. But that seems to be more the German style of play, very slow and methodical. And I know different people play different ways, and I think there is also, we do need to consider the fact that we're making videos here, and you don't need to see, like, let's say it takes, well, like I was saying earlier, 3 hours to mow a field. Nobody's going to watch that. We're going to do 6 30-minute episodes of mowing. So there does need to be a little, time compression, skip ahead, that sort of thing. So I'll keep that in mind, and I'll try to pace the videos and space them out so things are more interesting, or to sort of keep the flow going, and that there's not a lot of just repetitive stuff, unless it's what you want. Because I know I don't mind watching that at all. I'm mesmerized watching people mow grass. Right, so down here, and yeah, I think this is going to be a canola field. I think. And you know what? Let me do what a real farmer would do. Let me leave something parked on a field to sink in the mud. Let's go ahead and back it out here onto the grass verge. Set the brake. Out we go. Let's run back up the farm track here to. Let's get the sugar beet going first. Oh, let's check one other thing. We need to go to sprayers, and we need to, this is, what's the spread on this? 36 meter, and this is 36 meter. Okay, remember that number, because we do have big square fields, and I feel like big square fields lend themselves better to spraying later via tram lines. Put your tram lines in, and you can spray later. If you've got really kind of, bean-shaped, odd-shaped, round fields like you have, it's tricky to get a big boom sprayer in there. But if you've got big, long, rectangular fields, that's where else would you want to use a boom sprayer? That's perfect. So we've got some decent-looking boom sprayers in the game. We haven't used one for a while, if ever. So let's set up Proceed for 18 meter tram lines, and let's later in the season let's come in and spray where we need to with a big old boom sprayer. This is really a gorgeous map. I can't say enough good things about it. BulletBill, home run. Well played, sir. And fast too. That's the other thing that I love about the maps out of Frontier Designs, is they all play so fast and so smooth. And I think we've got just about all the equipment that we're going to have on this farm. So it's not, when we get to the yard, obviously things may drop down a little bit as far as FPS, but it's to be expected. That's going to be true on any map. But as long as we don't absolutely bury ourselves with equipment, we should be able to hold this pretty well. Right. Let's get Proceed going. Let's get Proceed going. There it is. And we want to do... how do we want to do this? Not manual. Semi. Let's do semi 36. And that's correct. That is one of 3. I think that's going to work. I think. Or do we want to go auto? Is it auto? Is it semi? It's auto. Yes. Yep, that's right, because this is a 12 meter. Come on, buddy. There you go. This is a 12 meter, right? So three rows is going to be 36. Yeah, that's right. So I am going to let this run. I will let this run because I definitely want to see if it's putting everything in right as far as the tram lines. But that's so pretty. When you get toward fall, when you get really good tram lines laid in just right. So we are set for sugar beets. Is that correct? That is correct. So we turn this on. We want dumb AI. Do not show trace. Connected fields only. Collision check on. All right. Is everything right? I'm pretty sure everything is right. Here goes. Thomas, you're up. And I am going to turn on four-wheel drive. And let's hop out and see how this gangster goes. And this is going to be a little tedious because I'm going to walk with it all the way down to the end of this row, and that's just a ways down here. But I want to make sure everything is working just right. And then once it makes the turn, if it is laying in the tram lines properly, and I have every reason to think that it would be, you know what? This may be parked just a little bit too close, so let's get this out of the way. I have every reason to believe that it will put the tram lines in okay. Once it starts its other pass, then we're going to hop in the 1455 that's right there at about the 1 o'clock position. We're going to hop in that and drive over and get that started injecting one last field. And I think at that point, we can call it an episode. Yeah, let me get this out of the way, because sometimes it sees traffic when it's a little bit further away. All right. How we doing, buddy? Actually doing pretty good, I think. As much as I've struggled with AI and hired workers the past few episodes, and you know what? This could probably go over a little bit too. Just to make sure he's got plenty of room to start that second length. Gearbox. It's so nice to hear a tractor cycling through those gears. Very cool. You know what's funny? Gearbox and that vehicle AI are both made by Mowgli. Both made by the same. Hey, 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 hey. Oh, whew. Okay. Well, I mean, I can't say I'm 100% happy about the AI making a turn on this field. However, there's nothing on it. I mean, it's an empty field, and it really hasn't even been prepped yet, so I can't complain. I mean, I could. It's not 100% realistic, but whatever. It'll do. All right, so if we get tram lines here, then we are good to go. There you go. We got them. Those look like tram lines. Let me look from above and just confirm that. Perfect. Okay, so that means when we come in our boom sprayer, theoretically it'll fit right in there. Okay, cool. Well, that's something that's working out. And the Magnum is still, yep, Magnum is still magnuming. Oh, fell out of the damn tractor again. Now, here's something I want to do here. This field has a bit of a little crinkle to it down on the end. So I want to take one, it's not quite a headland, I just want to take one, like, sort of a row off. to accommodate. You'll see what I mean when I get down there. Right, wheels are out. And then we can also, I think, is that right? No, we got to go here. We can also, is it this one? Yep, we can lower the tire pressure in the rear, which we're doing. So, yeah, I need to make a little room because there's a tree down here, and if we don't sort of accommodate it, then when this thing is on AI trying to do lengths, it will get confused by that tree. We need to give it a little room to work, basically. Come on, buddy. There you go. See if it's any better with the diff locked in front and rear. Not really. So yeah, you can see, I mean, 6 meter on this field. It's not, I don't think that's entirely inappropriate for real life. You know, not every farmer can afford or has a need to use giant equipment. And I think we're so used to, in simulator world, we're so used to finishing a field in 15 or 20 minutes, we forget that in real life a farmer might work on a field for, you know, a day or two. Or a week. Alright, so now and this guy's still going. Still going. Yeah, that's probably an hour or two to finish that field. I mean, in real time in the game. In the real world, I don't know. Probably the better part of a day, I would guess. So yeah, we'll finish this up, put this 1455 on a worker, and we can call it at that point. Yeah. And I don't know if 100,000 liters will even be enough for this. I think it'll be close. I may have to refill. I may have to take the tanker down to the spigot at the livestock market and refill from there once or twice. Don't know. TBD. The nice thing is a full tanker of slurry is about 800 pounds versus a similar amount of fertilizer is probably 2,000 or 3,000. So it's a lot more affordable, even though we do need some additional equipment and it's a little bit slower. I mean, there's a temptation when I'm thinking about, you know, how I want to do this. There's a part of me that's like, why don't you just get a boom slurry spreader? You could knock this field out in 3 or 4 passes. And it's like, well, yeah, but then it still needs to be cultivated in. So you're doing, each of your evolutions may happen faster, but there's still 2 of them. So is it more efficient time-wise to make 1 pass where we inject slurry and cultivate, or right, which happens kind of slowly, or to make 2 passes, 1 for the slurry, 1 for the cultivation? And I think it's different for every farm, and you always need to sort of do the math on it, I guess is a good way to say it. Right, so we're going to need to hire another worker. So let's come over here and we'll just go straight to the top. Victor, welcome to the Lone Oak Farm. Do good work for me, son. Make me proud. Right. So there goes Victor. Haha. Ah, you teasing me. You're messing with my emotions, aren't you, game? And Victor is going to do the same thing that happened down at the other end. He's going to go out to the edge of the stubble rather than work the edge of the field. You know what? I can handle that. He's gonna kill my frame rate is what he's gonna do. Victor, come on, brother. There you go. Making my CPU think too much. You got it? Oh, and I just noticed this field is a little, it's got a little taper to it. So it might actually be a good thing that he's doing that, because if not, he would sort of run out of field down here momentarily. Victor, you got it? Yeah, I'm sorry the frame rate keeps dropping off. That's not a bottlenecking thing, that's an AI thing. When the AI has to calculate all its possible paths, it'll just eat up all your processing power. Yeah. Right. So I'm going to make sure he makes his turn. Everybody else, I think, is making their turns okay. I assume the Magnum is making their turns. If not, it is halfway to Idaho by now. Let's see how Victor does down here. Now, the other thing is this field has sort of rounded corners, so I'm hoping he doesn't just start doing laps. Although, if he did, would not be the end of the world. Although, he's going to need to refill momentarily. Poor Victor's going to be out of slurry already. Wow. Well, you know, I almost said one length, and we'll need to refill, but it's not one length, because we drove back and forth across the field twice to make that headland. So, yeah, we did. I mean, it's going to go through a lot of slurry, no doubt. Right. This isn't looking too good. Poor Victor's struggling with his turn. Yeah. Is he just going to go in circles? Nope. He sort of got it. He's going to need to straighten it out. One, two, three, panic. Victor. Victor? My man. Fantastic. Jesus Christ. This game, man, I will tell you what. When it works, it's fantastic. When it works. But it's like 10 minutes, 15 minutes of this game functioning properly. And I will always be the first to admit, yes, the game is heavily modded. Yes, that's sort of on me. But at the same time, you know, it's an AI mod. Like that's its only job is just to drive back and forth across the field. Right. So, let's go check on the Magnum, and then we're going to end this episode before I have a fit. Oh man, makes me want to sing The Hills Are Alive. But, I mean, to be fair, everything makes me want to sing that. Where is our Magnum? Oh, it's all the way down at the other end. Okay. Do we want to run all the way down there? I sort of do. I sort of do. Let's go check it out. Although he's done some damage. There's a little progress. And still tracking. Oh, you know what? Victor just ran out of slurry, so before, this is cheating a little bit, but I'm going to do that because he's cultivating and injecting slurry, and even though he's out of slurry, he'll keep cultivating, and there'll be parts of the field that don't have that layer of fertilizer. So I'm cheating a little bit just till I can get over there and turn him off and go over and refill. I also want to see how this Magnum is doing on fuel. I think it's about 2/3 empty, or 1/3 full, if that's how you like to say things. Half full. Beautiful. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out The Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Farming Simulator 2017 from Lone Oak Farm. We'll see you next time. Take care.